Hey everybody, how you doing? Great Thursday night. This is going to start with a rather quick Warriors review. Why? Because they won. And look, I'm afraid to say the S word, but I will say the one word, which is the Trailblazers may win one game. But look, the Trailblazers haven't returned home to play the Warriors on their home court, so I'll hold judgment. But the Warriors, without Kevin Durant, gutted out not one, but two victories. The first victory, they gutted out by 22 points. This one, they gutted out by 3. And I say gutted out in both cases because the first time it looked like the Warriors were just, and for the first game, it looked like the Warriors were not quite in sync at first. Then they got in gear and they cruised to victory. This time, the Warriors looked completely out of sync. They fell behind by 15, which is not unusual for the Warriors. And then they came back to win. So, hey, I have to say that the Warriors look like they are in one of those kind of weird, I don't know, kind of modes where you're saying, like my mom said, because I was watching it with her, right? And she says, you know, I don't know about this one. I don't like the way that they're winning these games or playing these games. And she's it gives her close to heart failure. Hey, Freda, how you doing? Gives her close to heart. Well, I don't want her to have heart failure. I'm just saying this is how she reacts, and that's how I react too. We're both Warriors fans, even though they should be called Oakland Warriors. And on that note, I have a bone to pick with, and I'm going to put this on Twitter. 92-9 the game, and here in Atlanta. And the reason I have a bone to pick with him is because the guy, look, it's not a personal bone, it's just a bone, all right? And I'm writing talking about 9-9 the game, like that, okay? Yeah. And now. And then I'm writing hashtag ATL, and then hashtag Oakland, and then hashtag Warriors, okay? And I'm going to post that, hashtag sports, hashtag NBA playoffs, playoffs, and log in and tweet, and boom, it's gone, okay? I'm coming back from the gym. And out here, there's the game all over. I don't quite know how that goes, but in terms of corporate organization and all that, but it's sports talk, and I cover the NFL, sports, and talk sports. So I tune in to 92.9 the game to find out what Atlanta is thinking about, or at least being asked to think about through their radio. Now, I know there's a lot of other places one can go. There's Sirius satellite radio today, every place else, all right? And they're talking about it, okay? So this guy is on for Andy Bunker. And I forgot his name. I don't know if it's John Chucker. He's one of the guys that follows me on Twitter. There's at least 1 or 2 people from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta that follow me on Twitter. So he's yapping on and on about different stuff just to fill in time. And he then pops off about Oracle Arena saying that it's a trash stadium. It's a trash place to play. It's garbage. He's putting it down. And I'll tell you in total, folks, from almost 3,000 miles away, if you had never been to Oakland, you would think Oakland and San Francisco were, as he described them, third world countries with, I'm not kidding, he talked about having, human waste on the ground everywhere. He says that everywhere. I'm thinking, I've never seen that. I mean, I can go over to Salesforce Tower right now and I won't see that. And he's talking about something that I don't want to repeat here because I thought it was unsavory. Even to hear on the radio what he said, I thought, oh, come on, man. Do you have to ruin my stomach and all that? But then he talks about Oracle Arena being trash. And let me tell you something, pal. I put this out on Twitter. I'll tell you again. Oracle Arena was rebuilt new in 1998 for the Warriors. The only artifact, if you want to call it that remains from the old arena is that crosshatch, design. And even then, the glass was inside was replaced, the roof was replaced, all of that. The only reason people think of it as old is because the Warriors decided they needed a new stadium rather than spending money on the little things. Like, for example, Frederick Williams just said Oakland sports teams can't catch a break nowadays. Well, it's not so much the sports teams as Oakland. And look, some of the reasons we don't catch a break are justified, but some of the others, like what I heard tonight, this stuff, this garbage, are not justified at all. That guy's never been to Oracle Arena. He knows nothing about the history, nothing about the area. And then he says, this is what he really told the audience that just got me and proved to me that he had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. And he says, well, it's a long commute from Oakland to San Francisco. Though, long commute. It's an 8-minute BART ride, okay? I just can't believe he actually said that. I can get on BART at 12th Street, Oakland City Center, or 19th Street, right, in Oakland, and I can be from there over to Embarcadero in roughly 21 minutes, thereabouts. 8 minutes of those 21 minutes or less are through the tube, okay? That's it. So, for him to say that, I knew he had no experience with the Bay Area whatsoever. And yet, this is what I hear and what I'm subjected to outside of Oakland. And I'm telling you, folks, when the Warriors play in San Francisco later this year and for the rest of their, lives, or in terms of organizational lives, and then when the Raiders get to Las Vegas at some point in time, which I think will be, but regardless, whenever they get there, okay, when that happens, Oakland will lose more than 2 of its 3 major sports teams. Oakland will lose the mention of Oakland on television. And by my estimate, that's worth, if you get a Super Bowl, that's worth, that having the Super Bowl in your city is worth $25 million in terms of advertising. You would have to spend $25 million to get the kind of advertising that you get for a Super Bowl any other kind of way. Now, think about that applied to, let's say, a regular sports program, right? Let's say that, and I haven't estimated, but let's just say for grins you'd have to spend $5 million. But that's still to equal 1 game. All right? Now multiply that times the number of games, home and away, that the Raiders, the A's, and the Warriors play, and Oakland is mentioned at some point. Because the Warriors don't have Oakland in their name, which does hurt Oakland, Oakland is hurt by that much. But even then, whenever the announcers are talking about where the Warriors have to go back home, you almost invariably mention Oakland. Oakland will lose all of that, okay? So a lot of our identity, our national identity, was established through sports. And we have a city government that is completely clueless as to the value of its sports organizations and sports in general because, and I say that because if it weren't, there would be a plan for the replacement of the Raiders and the Warriors right off the bat. They would be petitioning the city and business people would be petitioning the NBA to get another team in the Bay Area, in Oakland, under the Oakland name. That's called civic pride. So you want to say we don't have any civic pride, we lost it? Yeah, all right. I mean, basically, we've seceded our civic pride to the Oakland A's and Dave Cavall. He's driving our civic pride for us. And for that to be the case is shameful. Completely shameful, okay? So, so now, let me get back to the Warriors. The Warriors, I'm going to go back to, the score was 114-111. It started off, listen to this box score for by quarters, right? It started off Warriors 31, Golden State 29 for the first quarter. And then the second quarter, it was Warriors 34, Trailblazers 34, Golden State 21. The third, it was the Warriors then flipped it after the half, okay, like that. And then it became Warriors 39, Portland 24, and then it became Golden State Warriors 25, Portland 22, and the final score was Golden State 114, Portland 111, all right? And so the next game, Warriors at Trailblazers, is tomorrow night. That's what it says. It says Saturday. Because I have to remember this clock moves, okay? Saturday night at 9 o'clock, and then Monday at 9 o'clock. So that part of the series, you know, goes quick. Kevin Durant is called a small forward. I imagine what a big forward looks like. Woo. Anyway, that's in terms of the scoring. It went like this, basically. For your Warriors, it went like this: Draymond Green, 16; Andre Iguodala, 4; Andrew Bogut, none; Klay Thompson, 24 points; Steph Curry, 37; Kevon Looney, 14; Jonas Jerebko, 0; Sean Livingston, 3; Jordan Bell, 11 points; Quinn Cook, 2 points; Alfonso McKenzie, 3 points; and Damian Jones, no points. So for this game, you had only only three Warriors not score. But even of those that didn't score, everybody participated, okay? Everyone participated. So I'm not reading a roster where, you know, Kevin Durant is listed, but he didn't play, right? That's not this roster. This roster is full and complete, and you had all but 3 people contribute from the scoring end. But if I had to look at it from a rebounding perspective, every person on the Warriors got at least 1 rebound, save for Alfonso McKinnie. That was it. But Alfonso McKinnie did contribute with 3 points. So this was a winning effort all around. Everyone, it was all hands on deck. This is pretty much as good as all hands on deck. Well, almost as good. All hands on deck is when everybody scores. But hey, look, this is close to that, okay? So the Warriors gutted that one out. And Frederick Williams says the Warriors will not sweep the Trailblazers. After all, I thought I would sweep after the first game. I'm cautious, okay? And then Williams says, I think most people may be too afraid to go to Oakland. I don't know where you got that from. My guess is you never been to the Bay Area. Donis says, how do we get that civic pride back, or is it gone forever? Donis, that is the question of the night. There's another one. There's another candidate for Question of the Evening award. Last night, it was asked by Joseph Amenderis. This night, it is Donis, okay? And Frederick says, correctly, that was one heck of a game tonight. But Donis asked the question, how does Oakland get back that civic pride? And frankly speaking, I think Oakland has to do something Oakland has to do something. This could be business or government. That makes a statement. That makes a national statement. All right, and I say that because, from my experience of bringing the Super Bowl, or trying to bring a Super Bowl to Oakland, I remember Ignacio De La Fuente told me. In fact, I remember the date that he told me this. He told me this October 19th, year 2000. It was Friday, after the JPA meeting. He gave me a ride back to City Hall. And he said, you've given us more positive news than anything else. And that was in the wake of the Joint Power Authority Board voting in action of no action against my Super Bowl bid. I thought I had the votes lined up. I didn't. I was really pissed off, which I don't want to go into right now, but because I would lose the point. The point is that they saw the positive vibe that my work was bringing to Oakland, and that's why the head of economic development set aside $80,000 for my sports commission, but Jerry Brown was mad that I accused him of being racist at the time and didn't approve it, just wanted me gone, you know. So we don't, in Oakland, tend to do things that have a collective that say, let's make this happen and make everybody happy. It's all about the individual. You know, it's a great place, the Bay Area in general, to be an individual, to do your thing. You know, it's the me generation was born back in the Bay Area, and the idea that, you know, you do unto you and don't tread on me and I won't tread on you. Burning Man was born by people who come from the Bay Area and went out to the playa and they established something really huge. And unfortunately, the Burning Man creator died last year. But it's all about the individual. And people come out to the Bay Area to remake themselves. And unfortunately, because of that dynamic, it is very difficult to marshal a large-scale civic movement to do anything. It is. You have to have private money now, especially today when there's a lot of people saying no to everything. You have to have private money to drive something. The A's have that, and they're able to do it. But the mayor, when Libby first started running for mayor, she had, I thought, the right formula in talking about her Made in Oakland brand. But she didn't follow through with it. She started, for example, her staff supports the San Francisco Chronicle. San Francisco Chronicle has nothing to do with Oakland. They don't have offices in Oakland or anything. Yet the mayor will tweet and retweet what they put out, even over the East Bay, what used to be called the Oakland Tribune. They should still call themselves the Oakland Tribune, which is another issue. You have a paper, you have an organization, news organization that's in Oakland, that took Oakland out of its name. That is an awful statement against the kind of civic pride that you and I are talking about. Whereas my new blog is, what is it called? It's called Oakland News Now. If you haven't seen my new blog, I should say still new blog, I'm going to put a shameless plug for it, Oakland News Now right now. And here it is. Boom. Oakland News Now, okay? And it is not only that, check this out, folks, since I'm bragging about my own blog here for a moment. Indulge me for a moment, and I'll get back to the topic. But I'm really proud of what I built here. And if you go to Google, okay, Google News, Google, and then News, right? Okay, here. And you want to type you want to find out what's happening in Oakland. You want to find out what the news is in Oakland, right? So you type this, OAKLAND, right? And then look down. Look, what does it say? It says Raiders, athletics topic, press, Oakland Press News Source, Oakland News Now, news source. Look at that. Look at that. There's not even Oakland Post here, or Oakland Post Online. I take that back. Good, they're still there. There's only 2 Oakland news sources. Oakland County, you know what that is? That's Michigan. Oakland News Now. Oakland Post. Thank God for the Oakland Post. That's it, all right? So click on us. Boom. Where does that take you? Boom. Will Durst on the Punchline closing. It was a great interview with him that I did, if I do say so myself. Oakland Coliseum Ring Central naming rights not done. This is in order of intensity, okay? See that? Big Bang Theory means no more San Diego Comic-Con. I am pay, all right? My video blogs, I've set up some of my video blogs become blog posts, and they become news. But look at that. That's Oakland news. That's civic pride. So I can talk about anything around the world, but it comes from an Oakland perspective, right? It's like the New York Times. The New York Times that's what I'm aiming for, okay? The New York Times is everywhere. But with a smartphone, with me, and I need vloggers. I want you to come in and work with me, okay? I'm serious about that. Send me an email. And I'm not talking about free stuff, okay? But my point is this, because I'm really excited about what I'm building with the Zinnia 62 Media. I'm going to have a new one-page website to announce that, you know, alone, but excuse me for my excitement because it's taken me a long time to build what I have, and I'm really, really proud of it, okay? I really am. And it's Oakland, it uses as Oakland, all right? That's the focus. But the idea is it's the world from an Oakland perspective, using smartphones wherever we are in the world to pick up what's happening, report the news, and then send it out there, and you can find it. Not just here, but everywhere on Twitter, and I'm working on an auto Instagram upload and every place else. It's hard sometimes because like LinkedIn had this automatic system, and then they've been doing some wiggy things to make it hard for that to work, but I'll figure a workaround. Whew. And then Pinterest I love because they allow auto posting and everything else. And so, but the whole point is that this, you see what I'm getting at? That's civic pride, man. Did you know that? Did you know that if you typed Oakland in Google News, I was the main and only highest ranked news source because there's no Oakland Tribune? Do you realize that? I mean, who the hell goes in and types East Bay? East Bay what? East Bay, do you realize Tampa Bay is a bay? It could be East Bay, Tampa Bay. East Bay, Hudson Bay. Hey, John Acala, East Bay, all right? But hey, John Acala, go to Google News and type Oakland and tell me the first listed news source. That's at Oakland. Oakland news source, the first one, all right? That's cool. I gotta make sure I'm the first one. I think I am the first one, but yeah, Oakland. I am. Oakland, yeah, I am the second news source. Oakland Press is and I don't know what Oakland Press is. Oakland Press is what? What is that? Oakland Youth Orchestra. Oh, that's Oakland, that's Michigan again, all right? So the first Oakland news source is Michigan, but the first Oakland, Oakland, California news source, Oakland News Now. Oakland freaking News Now. Woo! Okay, look at that, all right? So Donis, you talk about civic pride. They've let me take it over, all right? Nobody else. They don't care, all right? And so Pam says, I'm from Michigan. That's in the Detroit area. Yeah, right. There's the area, and then there's that, right? That's what I'm saying. But in terms of Oakland, California, there's my platform, all right? Mine, all right? Frederick Williams says, one thing I do say about Oakland is that Oaklanders aren't just trendsetters, they're also game changers as well. Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to think I'm doing that, okay? So yeah, so Donis, that's what it takes. It takes people who have that kind of pride. We used to have that, but we lost it. And think about it, we've lost it. You have the mayor of Oakland pushing a San Francisco media publication, and then at the same time, I'm African-American owned and operated. Richard Hike is our excellent vlogger who's, how old is Richard now? 44, 48. Does a fantastic job. And, I'm looking for other folks. And, all right. Donut says, I hear you, but some of us are not from Oakland. But my point is, I'm confused about your question because you say, how do we get that civic pride back, or is it gone forever? But then you say, now, I hear you, but some of us are not from Oakland. And now you lost me. Okay, that's like, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean, okay? All right, but you get my point, all right? And check out, bookmark Oakland News Now. And when you go there, okay, go to the link, right? Oh, James McClendon, how you do? I'm going to answer your question in 1 second. I'm going to ask you to do this for me, by the way, folks. When you go to Oakland News Now, fill out the subscription form because I have a daily newsletter. Oh, you live in Castro Valley. Okay, cool. I have a daily newsletter that you can sign up for, all right? And I would love it if you did so. Just go to oaklandnewsnow.com. oaklandnewsnow.com. I'm actually going to put the URL right here. Bam. oaklandnewsnow.com. Now, I am giving thought to starting another citynewsnow.com, and I just don't know which city it's going to be. Maybe Atlanta. I have Oakland Focus now. I have I have the focus blogs: Oakland Focus, San Francisco Focus, Seattle Focus, Dallas Focus, Denver Focus. Those are blogger blogs. What I showed you there is a self-hosted WordPress blog that opens super fast, all right, and is super protected against attack. So I'm very proud of what I'm built here. All right, now, Pam, how you doing? And now get to James McClendon's question. First of all, his question is a good one. What happened to the Oakland Tribune and how did we let it fall? What happened was that the Tribune, when it was really in its heyday, was owned by the Knowlton family, and then the Knowlton family sold it to Bob Maynard. Bob Maynard was its first and still only black publisher. And then Bob Maynard sadly passed away. Bob Maynard, if you talk about civic pride, Bob Maynard represented Oakland. He was soft-spoken. He was a giant. He was a soft-spoken giant, not in stature, but in image, in behavior. Always wore suits, three-piece, very nice. I don't remember anyone ever talking about him losing his temper or anything like that. Very much a newsman and loved around Oakland. I don't know if I ever remember any news person in Oakland or Bay Area history that was as loved in his city as Bob Maynard was in his. Bob Maynard did successfully form the conscience of Oakland. Mason Riggs asked, do you think maybe they changed the name to more general area because newspapers closing down and consolidating over the years? Yeah, that is, I was getting to that. I was taking the long way home, like the Supertramp song. You take the long way home. Anyway, I was taking the long way home. All right, which is a great song, by the way. But at any rate, Supertramp that's from the Supertramp album Breakfast in America, and yeah, it dates me, but so it's a freaking great album. At any rate, I was taking a long way home. Now, point is that the problem basically was that you had David Singleton, if you remember his name correctly, who owned the Bay Area News Group, and they had the Tribune, and the Tribune, Oakland Tribune, it wasn't doing well, and they were trying to get sales drive sales in different cities in the East Bay, in like Alameda and others. So they changed it from Oakland Tribune to the East Bay Times. And I remember when they announced they were going to do that was in 2011, and I made a blog post about it. And Pam says, now it's stuck in my head. You take the long way home. You take the long... It's a great song. Supertramp. But Supertramp, Breakfast in America. My friend of this day, Keith Johnson, actually turned me on to that song. But it was outstanding, and it even had, I think, the Logical song, but whatever. Let me get back to the point. Yeah, I was so mad that I created a Twitter account right then and there called Oakland Tribune Blog. All right, and then I had to change it a little bit because I didn't want to get into a copyright fight. All right, so I deliberately, and it's still there, I might add, I deliberately said, hey, you know what? This is a ghost blog. I called it a ghost. I called it a ghost, and I referred to it as such because I wanted a ghost that was evoking the spirit, the soul of Oakland. We used to talk about the soul of Oakland. That's something that when I was a Montclarian columnist, I wrote about. Montclarian was this newspaper still active in the Oakland Hills, all right? But Oakland, if I type Oakland now, oh, there it is. It's called Oakland Trib Blog, all right? And here it is, all right? This is what I started. This is the Twitter account that I still run, all right? Oakland Tribune Ghost, Soul of Oakland, social media news blog, okay? And I created that going back to, it should say 2011. Yep, that was the date. that was that day, the day I believe it was August 11th, that day, okay, August 11th, 2011, that was the very day that the original Oakland Tribune announced that they were going to drop the name and use East Bay Times, and I went ape. And I remember Sean Maher, who now works for the mayor's office in communications, sent me a hot email talking about how upset he was that I called them out. And I said, hey, look, I am not apologizing for what I wrote. You guys are not representing Oakland, and you're supposed to represent Oakland. Okay? That was wrong. It was just wrong as the day is long what they did. But Oakland has been, I will say, victimized by that because, look, Oakland has, in my history, always been thought of as a black town. And Oakland has always been ashamed to be black, okay? Atlanta is unapologetically black. There's a difference. So Oakland was always trying to, well, how can we get more white folks in here that have money? And then Jerry Brown came in and said, I have the solution, the 10K plan. And it worked, okay? And it really, I mean, it used redevelopment to build housing, much of it affordable. And then what happened was then he got in as governor and killed redevelopment. We had a dramatic reduction in affordable housing that was being produced. And over time, and then especially, particularly in 2013 and then 2014, we had the rise of the impact of tech money. And that began what already had started back in the early 2000s, a slow push, but not a great one, of minorities out of Oakland, poor out of Oakland, but it accelerated when in 2014, the housing costs became great and people began to speculate on in Oakland regarding land sales and build and make plans to build more and new expensive units, apartment units and condo units primarily, okay? On top of that, the housing units were expensive. You had homes going for, in some cases, $1 million, and you'd say, $1 million for that? In Oakland, in places I showed you, you'd say, you gotta be kidding me, man. That? All right? So that's when it started, but we didn't have redevelopment by that time, because Jerry had killed it in 2011, or 2012. We didn't have redevelopment, and the affordable housing set-aside fund requirement to build affordable housing to catch up with, to keep prices from spiraling out of control, because we were able to add in more affordable housing and more housing stock because we were funding it. We left it to the market. And that's what created the foundation for the gigantic homeless problem. It is huge that we have today, which allows this guy at 92.9 The Game to say, hey, you know what? There's homeless people all over the place in Oakland, and it's worse than San Francisco. I think it's actually the reverse. I think it's worse in Oakland than San Francisco, but he's right. We have shanty towns in Oakland now. And what's going on is shameful. And we ought to be called out on it, and you have Democrats allowing it. And then we say we want to have a president, and we want to oust, Trump and all this stuff, and yet we cannot get it together to establish a set of policies that give people a roof over their heads regardless of income. That is horrible, all right? Now, getting back to your points, Frederick Williams says, I even learned that Oakland once had an auto industry. We sure did. We had an auto industry. Okay, can I switch, please, to a happier topic? I want to talk about the Big Bang Theory. Did anybody see the finale tonight? Did you see? Did you? I loved it. Oh boy, I'm so, we're so unhappy that this is gone, and I guess someone didn't want to talk about the Big Bang Theory, so they left. And two leaving. Oh, hey Sean Grogan, how you doing? Does anybody mind talking about the Big Bang Theory? Anyway, I just want to know if anybody saw it. I loved it. Did you? If you saw it, if you didn't see it, just say no. I just want to know, did anybody see it? It broke your heart, Pam? Yeah, it broke my heart too. It broke my heart. It really broke my heart. And I thought it was well done. It was an hour long, And the elevator finally worked. How about that? The elevator finally worked. And you talk about take the long way home, right? Pam says, never missed an episode. So you know what I'm talking about. Folks, the elevator didn't work the first year. And it never worked. So Sheldon and everybody else was taking the stairs. So on the last episode, the elevator worked. It worked too well, all right? So Pam says that take the long way home is in her head. And the words are, what are they? So you think you're Romeo? Play a part in a picture show. You take the long way home. You take the long way home. 'Cause you're the joke of the neighborhood. Why should you care if you're feeling good? That's pretty good. That's a song, man. Woo. That is a song. I didn't realize it was 127. But yeah, that's a song. So, no, I'm not gonna sing the whole thing, Pam. That's as far as I go because I'm losing too many viewers as it is. So, I just wanted to give you a taste of it. Hey, welcome to Zenny62. Welcome to the neighborhood. Pam's like, oh, well, another time, okay? Another time. Maybe when I have an entertainer on. Or you know what would be cool? Huh. You know, the worst anyone could say is no. Why don't I get someone from Supertramp? That would be the best reason, you know, that would be the best reason to sing it. I'll work on that. All right. So anyway, you're going to hold me, Pam's going to hold me to it. I'm going to hold me to it too. I'll tell you what, folks. It is, Fred says that Sheldon finally get married. Oh boy, Sheldon got married to Mayim Balak. Well, that's the actress' real name. But yeah, she did, he did very much get married. And Sheldon, I thought that they were going to announce that I thought they were going to announce that Sheldon and Amy were going to have a kid. That didn't happen, okay? But they did get married. They got married May of last year, I think it was, and the white dress, yeah. So they got married they got married, and so Pam says Penny is gonna have a baby. Yeah, Penny's gonna have a baby. Yep. Penny is gonna have a baby. That's right. Penny is gonna have a baby. You know what? Penny is gonna have a baby. That's fantastic. I mean, if she ever changes her mind, or well, you know, I don't want to get political. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to say just don't have the baby in Alabama. Oops. But anyway, they're in California. But yeah, Sheldon did finally get married. Certainly did. All right, certainly did. Okay, folks, it is 1:29. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this one down. I was going to do a short show anyway because I watched the Warriors game all the way to the end and all this other stuff. But I will be back on Friday. No, this is Friday. I mean, I wasn't going to do Friday night. I will be back on Saturday. Pam's like, oh, don't go. I appreciate that, Pam, but this kiddo's got to get some rest, okay? Just to be honest. I've been going full bore on this. Had a lot of live streams. So, where are you from, Pam? Welcome. Where are you from? Are you a YouTuber, or how did you find this channel? Just want to know real quick. Good night, Sean. I'll see you, man. Sean's out. And I guess Pam is gone because she didn't answer my question, so okay. All right, well, I'm out, folks. And I will see you all later. Thanks again for sticking around. Okay, all right. Yeah, you take care too. Hey, Pam, but I'm going. And you didn't answer my question, but I'm going home. Wait a minute. I am home. What am I talking about? All right. See you guys later.